Welcome to Friday, May 7th, everybody, 2010. Mark Wilson with your webcam on the Parker and the Man page at yournews.com. Give it up, a little thumbs up there for Mother's Day weekend 2010. Get to that in a bit. Give it up a little bit for the Wings, huh? A little game wrap today for you on the column. Johan franzen, the mule, muling it in, riding the mule, doing the mule thing. How about Johan franzen? Just like the last couple of years, 25 goals the previous 2 seasons in the postseason. It wasn't like franzen was having a bad time of it either. He had, I think, a point in all 11 games, but he just wasn't scoring the goals like he had been. 2 coming in, he leaves with 6. A 4-goal night for Johan, 2 more assists. That's 6 points. That is an all-time Detroit Red Wing playoff record for one game. All those great players throughout the course of 80, 90, whatever years it is of Red Wing, or at least Detroit pro hockey, and it wasn't Del Vecchio, wasn't Howe, wasn't Yzerman, Marcel Dion, any of the great, Sid Abel, Ted Lindsay, any of the great players that have played throughout the years of the Red Wings. It was Johan franzen, and maybe appropriately so because he's been so good in the postseason the last couple of years with the Wings getting to the Stanley Cup Finals and, of course, winning one in 2008. So the Mule was back in high fashion. The fans loved it last night. When you're down 0-3 and you're on the verge of a sweep to the San Jose Sharks, you look for some excitement in a Game 4, and that's what the Wings got. It's what the Wings gave their fans. It was kind of both ways. So the fans were terrific last night. Joe Louis was incredible. Maybe the best I've heard it in a long time. But it was really kind of cool to see. And franzen should have had 5 goals because the first goal that he shot the puck and then it went off the shin of Todd Bertuzzi. So Two's got credit for the goal. The fans didn't know that originally. They thought when franzen, who scored the natural hat trick in the first period, second fastest to get to 3 goals in one period in the playoffs, about 3 minutes and 26 seconds, they thought that the actual second goal was the third goal, so the hats started flying out there. The hats got picked up. There was no more hats to throw when he actually scored the hat trick because they didn't know that Bertuzzi had the goal at the time because it was changed. So, the octopi was flying and all that, but 7-1 was the final. It was, save some of those goals for Game 5. It's 1 win. You could have won 100-0 and still get 1 win out of the deal. San Jose can still close it out at the Shark Tank Saturday night. Todd McClellan wants nothing more than to beat his mentor, Mike Babcock, and it's going to be a tough one to win. They always say that the toughest game to close out is the closeout game, but I don't know. I think the Wings have an uphill battle here. Only 2 teams in the history of the National Hockey League, you know this by now, have ever come back from 0-3, 1942 Maple Leafs against the Red Wings, and 1975 Islanders against the Pittsburgh Penguins. That is it. Remember the Yankees up 3-0 against the Red Sox. The Red Sox came back with 4 straight in baseball a couple years back, but this does not happen often in pro sports. To win 3, you got to win in San Jose, you got to come back and win, and then you got to go back there and win again. And I don't know, that's a hell of a task. If they pull this off, wow. But we're not there yet. I mean, it's 3-1, San Jose. So check out the piece. I've kind of given plenty of it away, all about Johan franzen and the great night for Jonathan Ericsson, Jimmy Howard. Two's played well. Lidstrom played well. Actually, it was a really as close to perfection as you can get. I said to somebody that I thought it was the best non-Stanley Cup winning game for the Red Wings in the postseason since the 6-0 game against Colorado 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Remember that one? Scotty Bowman, 6-0. So there you go. Check that out. Also, the tribute to Ernie at Comerica with his body lying in state, if you will. It was like a presidential / royal funeral procession, fans coming in. Of course, the actual funeral will be private. This is what Ernie wanted. This was his wishes upon his passing, and he passed the other day, as you know, at the age of 92. Still very surreal, still tough to say, still tough to talk about. The great Ernie Harwell, the voice of the Tigers, Ernesto as I call him. But there he was with the hat on. People got to walk by. They took pictures, a little weird, till I think they cut that off. And the classiest thing I thought was Dave Dombrowski standing at the end of the line, shaking hands with everybody as they came by the casket. That was very cool to see with Dombrowski, the president and general manager of the Tigers, there at Comerica. Tigers themselves are in Cleveland. They'll start a series against the Indians, but the Ernie tributes will continue to flow. But that was pretty cool stuff. It's tough to take, tough to see, and that doesn't happen often. And it was a little odd, but boy, was it necessary, I think, for people to get closure on the passing of the great Ernie Harwell. A couple of other deaths that got to me. A couple of Spartans, Robin Roberts, the great pitcher, the Philadelphia Phillies, 286 game winner in his career, Hall of Famer, former Michigan State pitcher, back in the day, way back in the day. Robin Roberts was honored in Philadelphia, where he pitched for all those years, dead at the age of 83. And Joe Kearney, Dr. Joe, the former Michigan State athletic director, 1976 to 1980. He was only there 5 years. But he hired Judd Heathcote, he hired Karen Langland, the women's coach, he hired Ron Mason, he hired Darrell Rogers, and he got Big Ten titles out of 3 of those people, and of course a national championship out of the 1979 Michigan State basketball team with Magic and Kelser and company. Dr. Joe went on to Arizona State for 1 year with Darrell Rogers. They all left Michigan State. And then Dr. Joe, after the 1 year, was the commissioner of the Western Athletic Conference for 14 more seasons. So, Dr. Joe and Robin Roberts. Robin Roberts, they were both there about 4 years, 4 or 5 years, both passing at the age of 83, same exact age. Dr. Joe Kearney dead from pancreatic cancer, so I salute both those guys because I got to meet Robin Roberts at Michigan State, and I knew Joe Kearney very well when he was there when I was going to school there. Dr. Joe, Jamarcus Russell, a little bit about him. Talk about bust, baby. Ryan Leaf, Andre Ware, Todd Marinovich, other quarterback busts in the NFL. Maybe you've got nothing on this guy. $39 million for 7 wins. That's pretty good stuff there, Jamarcus. So unless he resurrects a career somehow, he might be one of the biggest busts in history. Talk about that. And yes, the 2 shout-outs. One is to Steve Yzerman, the captain, 45 years old on Sunday. Birthday for Stevie Y. And Mother's Day Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to my mother, my great mommy, Fredlin. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. So check it out. At least 24 hours of happiness for Wings fans on the 7-1 win with Johan Franzen scoring the 4 goals and getting the team record 6 assists. Team record. No one ever done that before. The 4 goals ties a team record set by 2 players, the last one being Ted Lindsay in 1955. The Ernie tribute at Comerica, the passing of both Robin Roberts and Joe Kearney, the Jamarcus Russell debacle in Oakland, cut by the Raiders yesterday. Did I even mention he was cut by the Raiders? And the 2 shout-outs. It's all there on the Parker and the Man page, yournews.com. Have a great Mommy's Day weekend. That's you too, Steve Yzerman.